and welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm your astrologer and tarot card reader, here with your readings for November the 11th through November the 17th. If you're new, welcome. I really hope you enjoy these readings and that you'll come back. And if you are returning, thank you so much for your loyalty and your support. I really appreciate you. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and for all the new subscribers too. Now, these are general readings, guys. They are for the collective. So please take what resonates and leave the rest. They come in 3 sections. The intro, which is this, the astrological report, and then the tarot reading. And there are timestamps below in the show more section. If you have a phone, it's a little arrow pointing down, click on that and all the information is in there. It's also for your sun, moon and rising, so you will find the links to the other videos in that section too. So listen, as I said before, it's for the collective, these readings. So if you would like a more tailored, in-depth, personalized reading, please click on this link here, which will take you to my website and you can look at the kind of readings that I offer. What else? Yes, I have a Facebook group, guys, and that Facebook group, it's a private group. You have to ask to be to get in, to be included, and that link is below too. Now, in that Facebook group, it's a really positive environment. People post positive things, and then every 2 weeks I do a live feed specifically for my Facebook group, and in that it correlates every 2 weeks. It correlates with the new moon and the full moon, and we look at how anybody who attends the live feed, we look at their horoscope and how they're receiving the energies from the new moon or the full moon respectively. And I also have tarot cards on hand and I answer questions. We hang out for about an hour and we really enjoy ourselves. So if you would like that, this link to that will be below also, so check that out. And another way to support this channel and my creative content is through Patreon. So you can click on that just to check out my Patreon page. I do post things on Patreon that I don't post anywhere else. And I want to take this opportunity to really thank my patrons. Thank you so much. You really help me out. So I really appreciate you. Now, what else? Yes, let's go to the astrology report, shall we? Hello and welcome to the astrology section of your reading for November the 11th through November the 17th. And wow, that's all I can say. Listen, the full moon in Taurus on Tuesday is only the tip of the iceberg. We have all this dynamic celestial sky this week. Some really wonderful aspects are happening this week. Now, I'll start with some of the exact aspects and when they're happening, and then I'll go on to what's going on with the full moon. So Monday, November the 11th, the sun is conjunct Mercury. That means it's right next to Mercury, right? Very close. Tuesday, we have the full moon in Taurus, and we have Mars sextile Jupiter. That's a beautiful harmonious aspect going on there. Wednesday the 13th, we have Mercury trine Neptune. That's also a lovely harmonious connection between the two planets. And Thursday, November the 14th, Venus is square Neptune. That is a challenging aspect. We also have other energies and aspects that are moving into place or moving out of place. So they all play a role actually in the celestial sky. So let's start with the full moon in Taurus, shall we? The full moon, as most of you know, is when the moon is opposite the sun, and it's actually the sun's reflection that illuminates the moon. So with the moon in Taurus, and that means with the moon in Taurus, the sun is in Scorpio because they're opposite each other on the wheel, right, in the chart. The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means that it can express itself fully. So the moon is nurturing, magnetic, feminine. And in Taurus, the moon is good-natured, generous, and loyal. There's a tendency for being emotionally connected to one's values and material possessions, and a strong need for security, right? Material security. At the same time as this full moon, the moon is in a harmonious aspect to Pluto. Now, this creates an energy of sensitivity and intense emotional feelings. It's a being absorbed with interpersonal relationships, of being coveted over one's emotions and feelings. We want to kind of hide that. We don't want that out in the open. At the same time, I am displaying the chart of the full moon, so maybe you can follow along with some of the things that I'm saying, and you can get a picture of what's going on too. For those of you who understand charts. Now, so it brings in intuition and psychic ability. The moon's relationship with Pluto, and it can give you a strong look. It's being able to read people and recognize inauthenticity. We can see through people. We know when someone's not being authentic. And it can give you a strong will and focus to accomplish goals with which to manifest your dreams. This is like a dream creating full moon, right? We can create our dreams. We can manifest our dreams. We can make them real. It can also bring up control issues. So we need to be mindful of the urge to control situations and or people. It can be expressed through us being a bit bossy, perhaps, during this transit. It is also worth mentioning that the moon at the same time is kind of in a loose, harmonious aspect with Neptune, which further enhances our psychic and intuitive abilities. It can also give us a really deep appreciation for music, art, and nature. We also need to be mindful not to sacrifice ourselves for others, and keep a firm grip on reality, because Neptune can skew our perceptions of what's really going on. However, Saturn is connecting harmoniously to Neptune and to the moon, so there is some structure and discipline to bring ideas into tangible creations. So we just want to make sure that we're not compromising ourselves for others. And if we focus on our creativity, we can really bring things to life. Now, the sun in Scorpio is right next to Mercury, which brings in creative thinking and energetic communication with a bigger picture view. So because Mercury is still in retrograde, there can be some misunderstandings, but they can easily be rectified because of all these positive, wonderful aspects that are going on. Now, the Sun and Mercury have also have a harmonious connection to Pluto and Saturn, somewhat to a bit lesser of a degree, which brings in the need to be recognized for one's accomplishments, for being in the spotlight. And the concentration is on speech and communications, yet again. So this sets the stage for shrewdness in business and negotiations. Now, that's a wonderful aspect. And then listen, that's not all. The Sun and Mercury are also harmoniously connected to Neptune, bringing in creative and visionary talents. So it's amazing for literary accomplishments, particularly writing, fantasy, poetry, or even in the visual arts. Any creative project will, take off and will really work. So now also, I'm finished yet, guys. Mars is sextile Jupiter. Now, this is a wonderful, confident energy, abundant energy. It's like we're energized, right? Feeling really excited and confident about ourselves and really good luck in materialism with a penchant for higher learning or spiritual studies in alignment, perhaps. And long distance travel is also on the table with this aspect. Perhaps you're going on a long trip or you're planning one. You may be contemplating a spiritual retreat even in a remote location. So an optimistic nature with a love of freedom and independence is the underlying beautiful energy of that aspect. Now, then on Thursday, we move into Venus square Neptune, but all these aspects are kind of happening all week simultaneously, right? So it's kind of a big mishmash. You have to kind of choose you have the power to choose your energy and how you want to direct it. Now, Venus is square Neptune, and that's a challenging aspect. It brings in issues of self-esteem, confidence, and insecurities. So if you have a poor self-image during this transit, you may have a distorted view of your partner or your date if it's a new, or your acquaintance if it's a new relationship. You may see relationships in an odd way. Perhaps you have an idealistic romantic storybook vision of relationships, which can lead you to ignore red flags when you meet someone new. You could get taken advantage of, become a doormat in a relationship. If the relationship is rocky already, if it's on firm ground, I think you'll be able to move through this aspect pretty unscathed. But if it's new and it's a bit rocky, then, you could kind of, become the doormat, or worse, allow inappropriate behavior in some way. It's important to practice acceptance and the love of oneself during this time, and I would look at this aspect also creates a heightened need for love and affection. So I would resist the urge to commit or to trust someone until after this transit. Focus instead on building self-esteem and self-respect and confidence. All right, guys. So I told you that's like major this week, right? So without further ado, let's go to your tarot reading, shall we? Hello, Libra, and welcome to the tarot card section of your reading for November the 11th through November the 17th. And what wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information can you give Libra for this coming week? May these cards be filled with love, abundance, wonderment, and hope. 3 cards for Libra, please. 3 cards for Libra. 3 cards for Libra. Oh, I think that's 3 cards. Yes, 3 cards all in one. Go. Wow. Okay, now let's do your clarifying cards for Libra. These are clarifying cards for Libra. What wonderful gifts, guidance, blessings, and helpful information do you have for Libra? Okay. Through these clarifying cards, may they be filled with love, abundance, and hope. Please clarify. Oh, there you go. Please clarify. Oh, 2 cards Okay. And this is interesting. Please clarify. Very interesting. Okay, let's take a look at your cards right now, Libra. Okay, so the first card out for you is the Sun, clarified by the Seven of Pentacles. Then you have the Ace of Pentacles, clarified by the Four of Cups and the Emperor. Then you have the Four of Cups yet again in a different deck, clarified by the King of Wands. Very interesting. Okay. All right. So the first card out for you is the Sun, darling. This is an auspicious card. It means whatever you're working on is going to be successful. The sun's shining down on you. Things are looking really great and shiny and light, and you are feeling wonderful. And look, you've got the Seven of Wands, coins, pentacles, clarifying the Sun. So this is like, a field worker really looking at what he had, all the work he's accomplished and how he, the fruits of his labor basically look. And he's got one that he's keeping and he's going to reinvest the others, but he's going to keep one for himself. This is like a good opportunity for an investment that's coming for you. Maybe there's something that's really going to pay off in terms of an investment that might come up for you. I mean, I would say, definitely research, but for those of you who have this opportunity to reinvest, and perhaps you're being asked to reinvest your profits into your business or any kind of project that you're working on, whatever it is, it's paying off. You have the sun here, it's shining on you, it's feeding your hard work and all the effort that you've put into this, and it's time for you to pat yourself on the back and really give yourself credit for the accomplishments that you have, for all the things that you've accomplished. And the next card is the Ace of Pentacles. This is really where you're starting to see things paying off. You're starting to see, you're starting to get paid, basically. So something is really kind of coming up for you where it's looking really promising. It's looking exciting. It's, you're getting paid, as I said. Spirit is here, darling. My nose is going 10 to the dozen. Okay, so clarifying this, you have two cards. You have the Emperor and you have the Four of Cups. Now, the Four of Cups can mean a missed opportunity. So it's being focused on something. I feel that he is focused on the problem of what's not worked out, being up in his head and just going over and over the mistakes. And in the meantime, he's totally missing this gift that's being handed to him from heaven, right? This chalice. So this really represents missed opportunities, and it's missed opportunities because you're up in your head and you're not kind of focused on what's going on around you. You're too focused on the problem and not the solution. When you focus on the solution, you are, you can be up in your head still, but you're going over scenarios or things. It changes the energy. It raises your vibration when you're thinking of what you can do to change the past or learning from it. It's about being dispassionate because the cups are about emotions, and it's about looking back and say, oh yeah, I made that. What can I do differently next time? Then you're getting the gift, right? You're getting the gift of learning and wisdom from mistakes, but you're not beating yourself up about what you've done. It's about looking at it dispassionately and saying, oh, I can learn I can learn from that. I can gain from that. And you're changing the energy around it. And you have the Emperor, and the Emperor he's the King of Kings, darling. He's all about crossing the T's and dotting your I's. He's about learning. He's about growing. He's about putting rules and structure in place. So I feel that you're getting paid, but you have to this is also rules and structure. You have to put some kind of rules and structure in place so that, you've got to look at the books. You've got to, keep abreast of what's going on. You have to look at your gains and your losses and see where you can improve. And it's not about, blaming. It's not about this is the blame game, right? This is about blaming yourself, blaming others, it's not about that. It's about looking at it rationally, dispassionately, and logically, and then seeing how you can come up with a plan to improve matters. Now, and he's also about he's rules and regulations, but he can also be about litigation, and he can be about that. I would definitely say no shortcuts, keep everything above board, keep your side of the street clean. And here we go. We have the Four of Cups again. There's a real strong, you have this incredible opportunity. You've got this growth going on. You've got the sun shining on you, but you're not focused on that. And you are focused on regret, and you really have this danger of missing an opportunity. So I would say get out of Neptune land, come back in, stop blaming yourself, stop blaming others, live in the solution.com. That's my be in the solution, be the solution and not the problem. And clarifying it is the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is this incredible leader. He's brilliant. He's very gregarious. He's charming. He's out there. Everybody loves him. He can get bored very easily, right? And he wants to be entertained. So he can kind of go off the deep end a bit. So you don't want to be distracted. He's a brilliant leader when he is guided spiritually. So you are being asked to look for the higher good of everyone. And when you make a decision on that premise. Is this for the higher good of everyone? For mankind, for me, for my family, for everyone? Or is it just going to benefit me? This is about, coming from a higher perspective. This is about connecting with your higher self and doing things that are for the higher good. When you keep that in the forefront, then you can take off. Things are really, to come out of your headspace. Come out of Neptune and really look at the situation for what it is. Look at the truth in the situation. Give yourself some credit for all the hard work you've done. And, think about how you can reinvest, in yourself or in your business or in others. This is about using resources for the higher good of everyone. Libra, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, social media. I'm almost at 10K, guy. Let's get me over the edge. And comment. That also helps my channel grow. And I always answer every comment. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you next week.